Ghost lights, corner spot, steam rising from the paper plate. You said, kid, keep your mouth shut, you'll eat good, just show up late. Black car by the hydrant, cigar smoke in the summer rain. Everybody kissing on your pinky ring, like it could wash away their shame. I grew up under Crazy Joe, learn what to hide, learn what to show. Prayers in the bar, bag deals in the snow. That's the way America made me go. American made under Crazy Joe.
We're back in a completely different studio
Which is nice.
for season 2.
Yeah, season,
Mob Candy
Lovely.
Magazine show.
which is good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We had a lot of things happening.
Yeah,
A lot of things happened.
new studio,
New studio,
new producer.
new production
Right?
company,
That's right.
Cherry Point Productions.
Cherry Point Production.
Yeah, I was
Nice.
the original executive producer of season 1 of Mob Candy, and I'm keeping that position as well as I forced myself into hosting with them, whether these boys like it or not.
And
That's
now
because you're a
and now-
stalker.
I'm a stalker,
And now we
and I-
produce our own shit
and now we do our own stuff
on the Cherry Point Productions.
on the Cherry Point Productions, and I stalked my way back into the hosting seat.
Yeah, Liza's the boss.
Well, at least you're good at it.
Yeah,
It's
but
good to
I'm
be
a good
good at
stalker.
it. Good stalker, yeah. Very good.
Yeah, we couldn't produce without her anyway, so what are
Yeah,
we going to do?
you need me,
You know?
which is nice.
Yeah.
Whether you want me or not, that's a different story.
Yeah, she's
I'm a stalker. I wasn't letting this go.
yeah, each episode she might be 10 pounds less too, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's hard. You know.
Listen. You're doing good.
Yeah, well, I'm eating my way through a Zempic a little bit. I
Daddy-
had
Dad-
eggplant parm yesterday.
Daddy never gains weight no matter what.
I know.
I can eat a tub of ice cream
Seriously.
or not eat for 3 days. I stay the same weight.
Except like a
God
small
bless
little
you.
pocket of your belly, just like it's the only thing that goes like
Yeah,
1 inch.
that's it. Just a little bit. That's it. I'm fine all the time.
I've seen all these pictures throughout the years, and you always
Always
were
the same.
fit.
Yeah, I'm always the same. Yeah, like
That's
I
a
said.
blessing.
Yeah, I guess
true.
so.
I mean, you want to start sticking needles in your stomach?
I ain't sticking,
Yeah,
needles
exactly.
nowhere, mate.
Right, so
That ain't happening,
that's where
no.
I'm at.
I'll be
So,
one, I'll be
look
one
like a
fat guy
90s
on this show, man. If I,
I look like a 90s heroin addict. I have needles everywhere.
We might change the scenery and stuff, but this will be our new studio,
It's our new home.
new home, and we're looking forward to it. I might have to find something to hold my cue cards, do something a little more professional, you know. 'Cause I don't have to do this. We throw everything out, you know. But first thing I want to discuss is pretty much the difference between loyalty and betrayal, which I think encompasses a lot in terms of the mob and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, one of the biggest cases would be Sammy and John Gotti and Sammy the Bull, and I know there's a lot more too, you know. But there's been a lot of debate on pretty much if is which one is more important, is loyalty or honesty. I know when you take the oath, you're inside the mob and you're a made guy or whatever, and you snitch or do it like that, it's considered disloyal and you'd be considered a rat. But like for the people that aren't, or for the everyday occurrence, in life, like a tattling on your sibling or something like that, it's like your parents are always telling you to be honest, and you could live your whole life learning that honesty is more important, than the loyalty, and not to betray people in that way. But in that lifestyle, you got to sometimes hold secrets, like if you had a family member who killed somebody,
well, so call them who they killed.
right?
You know what I mean? It's okay.
You
I don't-
tell somebody, you know what I
listen.
mean?
It goes like anything else, especially in a mob. Every rule was made to be broken. It's been broken. It will be broken. They do these ceremonies. Half the time it's all bullshit. Yeah, half the guys are full of shit. Like John says, everybody's a tough guy till a tough guy comes in the room.
Right, everybody's a gangster until
A
they have to make
till
gangster
a gangster
moves.
comes in the room. So it's all these guys. these rats now and stuff. They got a podcast and they're up there and they're blaming everybody else, and they also calling each other rats, you know, which really boggles my mind because
Well, some of them are extreme to the point where it's like, I mean, there are still a few people out. I know they're dinosaurs, but there's still a few people out there that are just like, what? The mafia? Oh, there's no such thing as a mafia. Like, you know, you get a guy like...
well, that's what he's supposed to be. You're not supposed to know
I
people.
mean, you get a guy like, I've actually heard, like Joey Merlino on an interview, and then, so, you know, he's just talking. He will not say that there was even, like, that he wasn't even in the mob.
No, he won't say,
You know what I'm trying to say?
but he'll tell stories about him getting arrested.
Yeah, sure.
It's organized crime. Everybody knows it. You don't have to sit there and
But
say...
he keeps his mouth shut.
You know what I mean?
That's one guy who keeps his mouth shut.
Yeah,
who
there's a
has a
couple
big
of 'em.
mouth, and I'll say it. I don't care at this
But
point.
Joey's just a hard-nosed guy. He follows the rule, and that's it.
Well,
Even
you're
if-
like that,
even-
too. You're
yeah,
going to
well,
tell stories
I-
about your life.
Yeah,
You're
but
not-
you've got to follow the rule.
You're never stitching on anybody.
I never did. I never spoke to a cop in my life.
Yeah.
But I see these podcasters. You get Dominic Zaccali, who he doesn't know I know him, but I do. That's another story for another time. But anyway, he took down like half the Bronx. He ratted out everybody, and then he's on a podcast calling other people rats. I'm like, what is going on here?
That's crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
He took down the Bronx. He took down Vinnie Court. He took down everybody.
Because he was mad at one guy.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You're mad at one guy for whatever reason it is. If you're close to them and something happens between them, we don't know exactly what happens between them. But the problem is that to get even with that one guy, you take down 20, 30 of your friends.
Yeah.
That's why it becomes wrong. You know, one-on-one, hey, listen, you're both grown-ups. You do what you got to do. But you took, you know, stay out of jail. You took 30 other guys out, which is bad.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he took
that's
down
the
half the Bronx.
that's pretty much the other angle I was going to say for. I mean, from a guy who's not of that life, you know, who's really just a fan of the movies and a fan of the lifestyle. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn, so like I know street guys and stuff like that. But I'm not talking about, you know, I was with like the Kings Highway boys or the Marine Park, you know, Quentin Road boys and all these guys, Avenue U. They were all tough guys, you know, and some of them might have dabbled into that lifestyle. But really, you know, from me, I don't know anything about that. And I grew up, you know, in the park where, you know, if you said something, you know, maybe nobody took an oath, but like I knew, don't fucking rat on your friends because you'll catch a fucking
keep your
beating.
mouth shut.
No.
You know, someone's gonna smack you or something like that. But you know, at some point, at what point is it okay? Again, from my perspective, a non-oath perspective, at what point do you turn around and say, no, I'm not doing 25 years in jail, and you know, I want to see my wife, I want to see my kids, I love my family. You know, am I going to tell on 2-3 people and then get to relocate somewhere else and
Well, those
and
are
be
all
able to
questions-
live my
yeah,
and
but
be
Chris,
able to
those
live
are
my life?
questions you should ask yourself
Before
you
you
even
get involved into
start.
the- yeah.
Do you love your wife? You love your kids? You want to do 25
don't do
years?
this.
Then don't. That's not the
don't-
life for you.
No.
I
you
know,
can't,
but how many
you can't
other
second
lessons
guess
to learn?
yourself now when the shit's a fan
Right.
and no, it's no
Yeah.
good. You can't
Again-
do bad things and be a bad guy and then all of a sudden, oh, I like my wife, I like that. I
Yeah,
don't
and all
go
of a
to
sudden you
jail.
like your
But
wife.
that's the
No.
point I'm
Yeah,
trying
right.
to say. It's like, so you're saying that there's no room for the fact that I learned a lesson
No.
in life later on.
No, because it's not. That's just
Not
being
everybody's
beneficial
as
to yourself.
wise. Some people
That's
learn
a
the
good
lesson.
point.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. Would say it again?
So that's just beneficial to yourself at the end.
Right.
You want to do all bad things. You want to kill people, rob, do all kinds of.
And then go,
But
"I
now the
learned a
shit's a
lesson."
fan. I want my wife. I don't want to go to jail. But you shouldn't be doing this stuff because that's part of the deal.
In
Right.
fairness, if it's premeditated, where like, hey, I'm going to commit all these crimes and then fuck someone at the end and then be,
It
you
is
know,
premeditated now.
You know,
It is premeditated because it's
Yeah.
happened so often. It's not, by chance anymore. Maybe the first time it happened 40, 50 years ago, something broke.
Yeah.
But now it's a
but just
common
think
practice.
about outside the mob, about lessons, even if it's not that lesson in general. If you just think about life and how like you go through life and then something happens, you get burned, you learn a lesson like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. You know, I moving forward, I'm not going to, you know, a lot of these lessons might have been learned. Like maybe I didn't realize how deep it was going to be. Maybe I didn't realize how crazy the life was going to be.
Maybe
And
the
then at
street
one
by
point-
accident. Maybe in the street by accident, playing ball or robbing a piece of
would
candy
you
or
say
something like that.
that
When you
the
go in
fact
this,
that you have to go away for 25 to the life for the rest of your life would be the, let's say, the quote unquote the turning point of like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have did this.
well, no, that's what they use it now for. But you know what you're doing. You know the consequences when you go do something. No one's stupid.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
I guess getting into
You're
the
not
life.
robbing a bank by mistake.
Yeah. You're not shooting somebody in the face by mistake and saying,
Well,
oh.
You're like, oh,
But do you think you're doing 25 to life?
all
Well,
day
if you don't,
long.
you always got to know that you're doing something bad, that you're going to get in trouble.
Right.
You
I-
know that.
if
But
I-
that's the life you chose. You do it. But you can't say you're not going to
I
get
wasn't
caught.
around then, but like before the RICO, when somebody is thinking about like if me and my friends were gonna stick up the bank, or something like that, like I remember back in the day learning that like you didn't even need a gun, and that like if you just told the teller like, hey, give me the money with a note that
I heard it.
they have to give you.
Yeah, I heard
You know
it
what I mean?
before,
Or
yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're told to like just
Just
not to cause a problem, just
Yeah.
give them the money. And then I remember being young and be like, wow, that's fucking easy. So all I really need to do is learn how
Really
to
think
disappear.
about it. How many people rob
Well,
banks
yeah,
and got
if you're
away
young
with
and
it?
stupid, you're not going to think the consequence. But anybody who does something wrong and don't think there's law
But
involved.
law, but do you know if are you going to jail for life? I feel like after the RICO, it's like
Well,
25 to life. It's like the rest of your life you're going to die
Right.
in jail, or and I almost feel like that is the, let's say, the extra factor that comes into play where you turn around and say, all right. I get this. I thought maybe if I did a
but Chris, I
crime, I
think
could do
that's with
5, 10
anything.
years. I could do 10 years,
Right.
And I could take 10 years like a fucking man.
Right.
But when am I gonna never see my family ever again? It's not something I'd be willing to do.
then make plans then before you do the next thing wrong to
But I think that's
get
like
out
with
of there.
everything. If you talk to your wife's friend in an inappropriate way,
Yeah.
if your wife finds out, you know what you're getting yourself
Right.
into.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, I can't believe I got divorced. Well, no, you can't believe you picked up the phone to make that phone call.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Right? So don't be like, oh, I didn't know I was going to get divorced.
Unless you're
over
just a
it.
big dummy and you think you can just do what you want and there's no
Right.
consequences.
been
There's a lot
talking
of
to my wife?
idiots.
I feel like she brought that topic up.
No. I'm just saying with anything. You make a move, there's consequences.
Especially when there's a lot of talk and detail, a lot of things are done. So you know. Prior to RICO, like you said, you get 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. A lot of these guys could do the time. It was easy then because that macho, being macho, you can do it. Nobody wants to do 25 to life on somebody else's problem now. So you can't be where you are no more. So anybody who got involved after
I'm not
RICO,
justifying that
No,
they're
but I will-
turning on
but
people.
hold on, I'll agree with you.
I like what you said about that fact that you're also hurting now 19 other people.
That's the
Right,
problem.
and
that's the problem.
changing their life and stuff like that.
listen, if I would beef with
that's-
you and you would beef with me and I want to fuck you for any reason, it's between me and you. Why going to hurt that guy over there?
Yeah.
And that's what they have to do. To save themselves, they got to hurt everybody.
Yeah.
So even though I got a hard on with you, it doesn't matter. You's all fucked.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah, no, and
And then go, and the best part is you go on television, there's a lot of them on television now, and think like they did the right thing. Like it's okay. It's
Right.
okay to,
Right. They try to explain
figure
themselves.
I mean, there are some guys that just
No, I
know.
will
Like
say this.
Francesi will say that that wasn't that they were all mistakes and stuff like
No,
that.
but hold
you
on,
know.
Chris. I will say this.
I
I
mean,
know
again,
a
I'm not-
guy that wouldn't come on the show, and I'm not going to say his name because and he said I did 10 years, and I'm done.
Right.
So there are some people that they do their time,
Oh, a
they
lot
keep
of
their
them.
mouth
Yeah,
shut,
man.
and they're like, and then they pivot.
I was in the store the other day, and then a guy said to me like, "Oh, I recognize you. You're on Mob Candy magazine show. And I see you all over YouTube." And I was like, and then I was like, "Oh Jesus, where's this gonna end?" And he was just turning. I can't believe you guys talk about that stuff. You're in Staten Island, and where's where he saw me? He goes, "It's Staten, Italy over here." And don't you ever don't you ever question like maybe someone's just gonna fucking crack you?
Why?
Like why? I
Why?
mean, it's media, the radio show. Does anyone crack
The Daily
Scorsese
News
for making a movie?
or the Daily News or the Post when they say
Right.
bad things. We never said bad things to nobody current. No, I'm not
Yeah,
worried
they
about that.
praised Robert De Niro. He
No.
was like the biggest thing since sliced bread after doing another Godfather.
And betrayed
movies,
gangster stuff. So
Yeah.
And in general, like also like I wouldn't consider it noble, but like I see if someone's committing crimes and that they know that they're gonna go away for so long, and then they make all this money, and then if you're able to like let's say feed your family for the rest of their lives and change their status, change your children's status, change your wife's status. I mean, it just sounds crazy, but to me, legacy-wise, at least that would be something that was worth that
Worth
I'm
the
going away
time.
for the rest of my life. But like now they take your money. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, but which leads me into the next topic, which is does money really does it create happiness? Is money Does money make you happy?
No, but make you comfortable.
Yeah, I'd
So you
rather
don't-
cry in a Mercedes than cry in a Honda Civic.
That's right. I'd rather have money to eat than not eat.
What are you
You know what I
kidding
mean?
me?
Doesn't make if you're a miserable person, you're miserable broke or rich.
Yeah.
Like all the people with money I've noticed is like, they seem miserable. Like celebrities,
Yeah,
they always,
well,
like,
but
they're always miserable.
it becomes they're smarter than you. I don't know why, because they made a few bucks doing something so silly that millions of them do, especially actors.
Yeah.
It's not they do something, they invented penicillin, and they became so much smarter than us.
Right.
Yeah.
And money does that to people.
It
You know what
depends
I
what
mean?
you do with the money. You start drinking and doing drugs, you're
Yeah.
going to be miserable.
They got more money than God because they're privileged and they don't know how to use it.
Right, that's the thing. You have to know how to use your money.
Right. It's a good
If
point.
you give it away, I think it's good.
It could create more problems.
It does.
You know
It
what I'm
does.
trying to say?
It
Or
does.
it could solve all your problems. That's
It
the
could.
question. Does it
But you
solve,
still need a
does
brain.
money solve all your problems
No.
when it comes to
No.
what you're stressed
No,
about?
but you still
or
need
does it bring more stress?
You still need a brain and have to figure things out. You just gotta, it just makes it easier.
The majority of people that I see that have fuck you money
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that
are
day.
either depressed or stressed out.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you when
And
I
you
get
always
there.
turn around and say, like, yeah, when I get there, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to, pay all my bills off, pay my mother's bills off, pay, live comfortable. But at the end of the day, did all those people say the same thing? And then they get rich and they just forget everybody. They're smug. They're nasty. I mean, even, I say you're in the comedy world. And even, Liza's a comedian, in case anybody doesn't know that. Liza's also a comedian. And at the end of the day, a lot of comedians who do have money, a guy like
that's a
Robin
different
Williams,
subject,
a guy like Robin Williams, you'd never know he was even
Hold
upset.
on. That's a different subject, and I'll tell you why. Because a comedian is a special type of person.
Tell me.
Okay? Because typically comedians, all right, let me say this right. It takes a lot to go up there by yourself and to make somebody else laugh.
Right.
Right?
You're
And
putting everything out
You're
there.
putting everything out there. Sometimes, I'm not saying all comedians, there's like a little inner something that's off inside that you need to express.
Yeah.
So that's why I see a lot
That's
of
what makes you a good comedian, right?
Yeah, there's something off.
When you're fucked up inside.
Yeah, because you're telling your jokes, you're telling about your family. My mother drives me crazy. And you're expressing your whole life to
Yeah.
random people. You don't even know them.
Jim Norton's one of them.
Yeah, you don't even know who you talk like right now. I talk about my mother. I don't talk about my son. But you're expressing yourself, and sometimes
Yeah.
they're very like when I go out to places. Ed's like, "Oh, tell him this," and sometimes I'm not like that.
Right.
I'm quiet. Sometimes I'm not quiet. Sometimes there's like.
So if
it's a
you
lot
are
of-
the type of person, let's just say, who is manic in some way over
you'd
something,
be a great comic.
you'd be a great comic. But are there times that like you can't do it now because now it's like you paid, you're booked, you have a 2:00 show, you're there, and then like all of a sudden you're going through it, and then you're like, shit, I can't go on stage right now.
Only time that ever happens to me is I have terrible stage fright, and
Well, you picked a good business. Jesus
Oh
Christ.
This is gonna work out right.
I have terrible stage fright. So I'll get really nervous before a show, and then the second show, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm not. You have all these jokes in your head, and they don't come out the same the second time around. I feel like I'm better spontaneous than like recorded. So it's all these things that are going through your head, and you're only up there for like 10 minutes, and you're like sweating, and it's
Yeah.
a lot. So anybody that's a comic, it really
And it's a lot for like not really a lot of money. Like you only really start
a lot of money. Try no money.
You only get rich when like you start getting these like HBO specials and stuff like that,
Even
right?
when you're headlining,
No, you gotta be good. That's how you
you
get
have
those.
right. You have to be great. You have to be able to do an hour like the back of your hand, and you're not getting paid until you really get up there. I mean,
you
if you
need
make
good-
$100,
You need
it's
good
like,
writers, man. You need material that's
Yeah.
funny, unless you do it
Well,
yourself.
some
I
of
don't
these
know
guys,
if these guys
write themselves, no?
yeah, a lot
some
of people write
do,
themselves,
yeah,
but
and
a
other
lot of
guys
times have
don't.
teams.
But you got to just be good today in competition. I saw somebody the other day, this guy on my phone the other day. He was hysterical. So I haven't seen a guy that funny.
I'm saying,
And
you
he was-
remember his name?
No, I don't, man. I don't. I'll see if I can find him again. But he was the funniest guy I've seen in years and years and years. He was straight lace, no laughing, no joking, no
Right.
nothing. But what came out of his mouth was hysterical.
Yeah, there's some
and it's the
comics I
first
really
time.
like.
So I don't like the Steinfeld and those guys.
about
I don't like none of
Maniscalco?
them. I don't like none of them.
Okay.
I like Maniscalco.
I don't like none of them. I don't
I
like
like Bill
anybody.
Burr.
I don't
He's
like anybody.
funny.
Yeah, I like Bill.
I
Burr.
like this one guy. So the other was I don't watch that shit. I don't like that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, you know who I liked? He passed away. Patrice O'Neill. That guy was a funny.
I don't like him
comedian.
either.
You just don't like him. But,
I like Don Rickles.
old
Oh,
school.
those are the best.
I like
Buddy
Don Rickles.
Hackett, Don Rickles.
Buddy Hack. I like that.
They were great.
They were funny.
What about that guy who used to yell? Oh, that freaking screaming guy. What?
What's that?
Sam Kinison.
Oh,
no, I
my
don't like him at all.
I
You didn't like
sent-
him?
No, man.
Oh my
What
God.
was he all about?
I don't
Listen
know.
to me. I send Frankie pictures of Sam Kinison all the time when I'm pissed off. I do. And I'm like, I can't take it. I'm like, ow.
Yeah.
I
No, I
send
didn't
it to
like him at
Frankie
all,
the
man.
time.
Remember I did the Ron and Fez show? I was on the Ron and Fez
Right.
show all the time,
Yeah.
Reoccurring, I guess, chronic caller / guest.
I used to do that on radio,
Mafia
too.
Life Chris he used to call me, and it was Ron Bennington.
Right.
I'm pretty sure not growing up, but like in the beginning stages of his comedy, I think he was like in the circle of like Sam Kinison, and he was like a club owner.
I'm glad I wasn't in that circle. I would give him a
Ron
beat.
Bennington was hilarious. You don't like them either?
Honestly,
He wants to beat up every comedian.
honestly, I don't like a lot of comedians. I don't think it's funny.
Okay.
I don't think it's funny.
Interesting.
I,
Is it
but I
what
don't
they're
find
talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
I
do
don't
you feel
think
like they're
subject.
they have
no,
an attitude?
No, I don't care about them. You don't pimple on nobody's ass. But the thing is that I don't like the material that, and other people are laughing and there's clapping in the back, and I go, that's stupid. I didn't even hear nothing funny. So it just
Yeah.
turned me off to it. So I don't like none of that stuff. So I don't watch none. I
Uncle
watch
Frankie
old
doesn't-
stuff. I watch Joan Rivers, or I watch
Joan Rivers is
'cause
classic.
they were raunchy but clean.
How about,
Yeah.
how about Johnny Carson?
Don Costa was good. He was a
Yeah.
straight guy, but he was good. I mean, he was good. I like Buddy Hackett. I like those guys. Ronnie Dangerfield was funny.
Yeah.
I find it funny, you know.
I think he was.
I don't know if they could do work today because the comedy's so much different. You know what I mean? Now it's about
Cursing.
and it's about a lot of different things. What's going
Yeah,
on
and
today?
then the whole cancel culture. It's
Yeah,
like you
so
can't-
I
you
don't know if
can't-
those
you
guys
can't-
will work
You can't
today.
say stuff.
Did you hear Jay Leno when he went to Ronnie Dangerfield when he was dying? The wife said, he can hear you. So she goes, if you hold his finger, he'll squeeze back. So, Jay Leno puts his finger, and Ronnie Dangerfield squeezes it. He goes, that's not my finger. And he said he saw
Yeah.
that Ronnie Dangerfield laughing. He was like half in a coma.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Some,
He's
some,
hilarious.
Some guys are good. Some guys,
Yeah.
other guys, people like different things, man. They laugh at one thing. I don't think it's funny. I laugh at funny that I think is funny. People think it's
Yeah.
stupid. So we're all different. That's why some comedians, do better than others.
Yeah. Different places.
Different places,
New York,
different
New York
crowds,
comics depends on like an Alabama comic.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had to like switch it up.
It's different. It's different in everything you do.
I guess your personality,
And that too. That too.
people.
And I guess you have
are
more
very-
money.
right now, I
it's
feel like
funnier.
the world is breeding. Well, it's been like this for a while, but they're also breeding more children and sensitivity. Like people are too sensitive,
Very
overly
sensitive.
Oh my
sensitive
God.
about
Yes.
everything.
If I would have
Everything.
told my father I feel
But
like a cat, I don't know what would have happened to me.
Yeah.
Like what? That you identify as
Yeah,
a cat?
identify.
Yeah.
I don't know what would. I don't know if
Yeah.
there's any closet I can.
Yeah.
It would have been a bomb.
Yeah, we'll have foot up
Yeah.
your ass.
Yeah. I go, Dad, I feel like a cat today. He's like, Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you?
Well, that's the thing. Like that's why I say breeding this type of attitude because it really does stem from the parents.
Yeah.
all day long.
And the parents are obviously, well, in fairness, so the parent must have been a victim of change where their parents really got them to a point where they're sensitive Nellies and they thought at some point that is a better way of like be very careful about what you say.
I saw this lady take her daughter to a vet because she identified as a cat, and then she put a lawsuit because the vet's like, I treat humans like people, not animals, right? I treat animals.
That's
not,
a weirdo.
Yeah.
but wait,
Back
and
up
then
my
she
dog.
sued the vet.
Yeah. Well, you could sue for anything.
But I mean,
Just
but
with anything.
what message did I give to that daughter? I feel like a dog, so I'm going to go to a vet, and if I don't get my way, I'm going to sue you.
Yeah, but listen,
that's what I'm
they
saying.
don't
It's
care what message
ridiculous.
because that's what their philosophy is.
That's
So
not
that's
weird?
what they do. They don't think about
That's
our
not
philosophy.
weird?
That's what they do.
I
Listen,
identify as a cat.
everything's upside down. Right's wrong, wrong's right. Up is down, down is up. Good is bad, bad is good. So you're debating the new people today. They just,
I said to my son Luciano something about it. His friend, he says, "I don't talk to that person no more." I go, "Why is it?" "Oh, they identify as a furry."
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, Dad.
Yeah.
So I feel like I did the right. I feel like
course.
I'm thinking to myself, well, like, did I make him like biased towards furries, or did I fucking do the right thing? Should I
Yeah.
pat myself on the back by making? He's like, yeah, I'm not. That's weird, Dad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
it's
all
weird.
right, it's.
I mean, you
I
don't
think
bother
that
nobody.
people should-
You just keep them at bay. That's
right.
all.
I'm not saying
Just keep them at bay.
abuse them.
No, keep them at bay. Just stay away.
You
There's
know?
enough. We got enough to handle.
We have
that
enough
that-
issues.
Yeah, that we
That's-
need to worry about cats and dogs and birds and pissing.
I mean,
in-
sensitivity. You know, again, growing up, you use everybody learns how to have a different type of skin. You know, and I know, I definitely but I could speak for myself that when I was growing up, you had to have a tough skin, and I still think that you have to have a tough skin. I think a lot of men are a little too soft these days, in my opinion. I mean, what would you think? You think that the population of the men are softer
you
these
can tell,
days now?
You can tell they are by their parenting. If they're coming out with all these freakazoids, then something must be wrong. You know, I mean,
Something's awry.
Unless we're wrong, that we, we're male and we think straight and piss in a urinal. I mean, if that's wrong, then we're wrong. I don't know. So apparently, they're all out of their minds, and that's what they do now.
Yeah, but they'll spend a lot of money trying to tell the media to tell you that
Of
you're out
course.
of your mind.
Because they want to brainwash other people to
like, are they the
to
major-
accept
are
it.
they the majority
There's
now?
no majority. They ain't pimple no one's ass.
No, I
but
mean-
they get a lot of publicity because the news gives them all the publicity. They don't care about us. They care about the stupid stuff and all the bad stuff and like that. You know what I mean?
Listen,
That's why they give all the publicity to them.
if somebody wants to dress like a woman and they're a male, have at it.
Of course.
Have at it.
Of course.
But hold the door. I don't know if they're gonna come after me. But you can't say, my name's Paul, but now it's Shannon, and I'm supposed to call you Shannon.
No.
That's a good point.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know what I'm seeing, and I'm okay with
I
it.
only know you as Paul.
That's right.
Right, and I'm okay with it.
Or are you saying, like, you can't tell me you have a penis and then tell me your name? You have a girl's. You're a girl.
Yeah, like I think Jeffree Star does it best. He's perfect. He dresses like a woman. His name is Jeff, and I'm not saying these are the rules, but I'm just saying he has a very straightforward way of saying it. He goes, "My name is Jeffrey. I like to dress like a woman," and it's like, so if you
But
want to
he's
dress,
not saying he's a woman.
no,
He's
just
saying
says
he's a man who likes to dress
like a woman.
I respect.
love Jeffree
I
Star.
respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
but don't say like.
Or the other way around. If you want to say that you're a girl and you like to dress, you're a tomboy. I mean, how many tomboys were around
Yeah.
back in the day?
And people are nuts. They won't do what they want.
And they dress
Listen,
beautiful. I
wanna
wish they
dress
would
like
help me.
I want to dress like a pirate, but I can't find where to go with it. People look at me. I want
Watch.
to be
You're
a
gonna
pirate.
get 1,000 hits
I mean,
on pirate
I want to be a
stores.
pirate. Send me some
Those
pirate
guys-
suits. I want to be a pirate. Come
Those
on,
guys
man.
get the weak guys. They get abused, but maybe they like getting abused too. Like you
Listen.
were telling me a story about that you went somewhere and that somebody, you don't have to say where you went, but someone went on stage and said that they're I guess a survivor of domestic violence, and they were guys.
Yes, that's a tough swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if any man's catching a beating,
Yeah, something wrong with him.
not only that, what did they do? They're not catching beatings. No, it's not because the pasta wasn't cooked al dente. Then women's shit. No, something went down. For a woman to battle up and smack and tune his ass up, it's not because it's Sunday. He did something wrong.
I mean, you could have women that are
sick
that,
bitch.
That first thing that they're thinking about is violent. Like I mean, obviously, we don't have to go into like the psychology end of it, but
No, I call Frankie all the time. I feel killy today.
no, but what I'm saying is, it's like a lot of people that are hitting their children or whatever. Like their first reaction is to hit all around, not necessarily like, you know what I'm saying. So then hitting is what they saw, and then next thing you know, it's like everything right away. If something's not going the way that they see, it
Yeah,
should
but
be
this
go
was
to hitting.
about women abusing men.
And if you happen to be the husband or the boyfriend of someone of that who's constantly hitting, but at some point you're just like, I mean, you're a victim of domestic violence. Like, you're a man, and you're saying it as if you're like in a relationship, and then you allowed it to go on for so long. Like, I get a woman who might feel like she's trapped
Right. It's a mental
and
thing.
doesn't
Right.
want to leave.
Right,
And
she has
allows
kids.
herself to get hit because she's like, I don't want to go because kids and money. And it's just,
Finances.
again, different time. You're talking about maybe a time where women didn't have jobs and able to support their own
Yeah,
families.
they had to catch the
They
beat.
were
Now
stuck
it's like
in there,
he's the
yeah.
money,
Yeah.
he's the breadwinner. I'm gonna let him hit me the few times because maybe I deserved it. And again, all of this thoughts on how domestic violence works. But now to see to know that a guy is up there saying like, oh, I've been a victim of domestic violence for X amount of like, what did he say, years? It's like I'm thinking to myself,
Well, they.
what is going
He
on? Like,
should have
this
broke up
thing-
and left her.
the first time you didn't beat the shit out of her and get out of there.
Yeah, that's another good thing.
Like, I'm gonna let you hit me in the
I'm gonna get so
face
much
Yeah.
trouble.
and not at least like just say, well, okay, I didn't hit you back, but I'm not dealing with
Not,
this.
not
Get
the second
fuck
and
outta
third
here.
time, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
But listen,
Right, a mistake
I
here
don't
and
think
there.
there's
Yeah.
any woman that's really. Again, I'm gonna get tortured. Past the beating sometimes. There's some women that attack men and they go in their face and they scratch him.
that's
and then-
different.
right?
You're in the middle
And
of an
then-
argument. That's
right.
not. That's
And then
not
you hit her.
somebody abusing somebody,
Right.
beating them up. It's the middle of an argument. You're supposed to go at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Verbally or physically, people
Get
go at
crazy.
it. Yeah, that's not abuse or
that's not abuse.
like a guy getting beat up for like not combing his hair and he gets beaten. You know what I mean? Some girls are crazy too. We're not
Yeah.
just crazy. Women are crazy too. Don't think
No,
they're
you
not.
made us this way. We weren't
made
born
you.
this way.
I
Yes.
didn't make you nothing.
Yeah.
Make you
All these
nothing.
men, they're like, oh, these
All I
bitches
can
are
do is
crazy.
all I
Hey,
can
we
do
didn't
is-
start
no.
out crazy.
All I can do is make you happy. That's all I can do.
Oh, yeah.
My charm.
How come it's the woman out of the three of us that keeps saying it's the guy's fault?
Yeah,
this,
guy's
this,
fault.
that,
Yeah.
that thing.
You know what you do. Don't sit there with your little plastic
Many.
smiles.
Listen,
Get
I'm a
outta
vic-
here.
I am the I
Choose
I'm,
your words
I'm
wisely, my friend, right
I'm
now.
a manipulator.
Okay.
I was learning how to manipulate people through communication, through writing and talking and psychological, warfare since I was a child.
Yeah.
And I learned that from my parents, or at least one of my parents.
And I'm close like that.
Until this day, one of my parents and their whole side of the family are psychological warfare mongers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, oh my God, you didn't go there. It's like, how can you not go there? You hurt me so bad by not going to this party. And it's
Really?
like, what about me, bro? I got a fucking family over here. Maybe I couldn't make it. Maybe I'm going to be uncomfortable. Maybe I have anxiety in that situation. Why are you telling me through psychology that if you don't confine to what I feel is comfortability, then you
Because
shouldn't be
people
comfortable?
believe their shit is more important than everybody's shit. Their reasoning or everything. That's how people work.
Yeah.
Everybody's other problems are more important than everybody else's problem. And that's how people think. Yeah. See, now my great philosophy is I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
wish. Listen, and your
don't care.
daughter is very similar, and I wish, like they say, like opposites attract and stuff like
Right.
that. I wish that I could put myself in her mentality sometimes. And again, these aren't things that you're like, oh, well, I'm going to study this mentality and become that person.
Nah, you
no,
have to have it.
This is something you have.
Yeah.
In your genes, this is something you are taught from watching it. And if there's something in your genes, but you're also being guided, you're being shown it. This is what you're witnessing through your mother
Right.
and your father
You can do it
throughout your
indirectly,
whole
just you
life.
watch
You know
it,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, again, I could tell you all of the positive
Yeah, but hold on,
qualities
the way you're explaining
that I
yourself,
learned from my father.
You're
Yeah.
like you're manipulating this conversation as well because you're giving yourself an out of why you're manipulating.
Well, I'm a show host. I'm trying to guide the conversation.
Yeah,
so
you're
And I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
You're like, well, my parents, so it's okay.
right.
But if you see that, if you know that you're doing
it's
it,
not okay to be mean. It's not okay to be disrespectful. It's not okay to hurt people's feelings
Sure it is.
deliberately.
Sure it is. If
On
they
purpose?
deserve it, yeah. What do you mean? If an asshole says something wrong, you're supposed to tell him, fuck you. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you mean if somebody does something wrong? Do you go out and purposely hurt someone who's sitting there and eating a donut and go over to you fat fuck? No, you don't do that. That's being bad.
Right.
Well, if somebody's doing something wrong to you in any way, even trying to make you feel bad for stupid, you go, fuck you, man. I
And
mean,
then if
that's-
they're fat, you call them a fat
then
fuck.
you
Oh,
call it
yeah.
fat fuck. That's the difference between going out and bothering somebody, being a bully, and doing something wrong. But when somebody comes at you, it's it's never wrong to leash out, and say no, fuck you.
yeah.
No, you don't have to be nice
No, I think
and be educated or speak right. No, the fastest words to stop everybody is fuck you. Yeah, I mean, I really believe that.
yeah.
You know what? I'm like somewhere like I wouldn't say in the middle, but I've been wanting for 16 years. For 17 years, I've been with your daughter. I've been wanting to see that side of things.
Right.
And like, there's
Well,
always
at one point, I know he was going with that. I'm like, what do you want to do? For
I always said,
17?
oh yeah, I'm going to use this platform to say now that,
Fuck you.
starting this day, I'm filing for divorce.
Yeah.
And
Chrissy,
you're gonna hear some. You're gonna hear from the
17
audience.
years.
Yes, finally.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. That's it. That's
But
it.
no,
Broke
I'm,
the ice.
I'm saying that like
Bust the champagne.
I would say that she influenced me. You guys influenced me to defend myself more
Right.
in that manner.
Not take everything to heart.
But my father definitely instilled something in me where it's like, okay, I mean, how can I explain this the right way? And what I'm trying to say is like, okay, so if you're the type of person, okay, who is walking around hurting people's feelings, right, or saying things in a way that's hurting people's feelings, right? It's like, why do I have to? I have my own character. I have my own personality. If that's not in my nature,
Right.
need a shut-off valve.
it's the whole concept of like turning the other cheek.
No, you need a shut-off valve. I'm very good at that. And when my switch goes off, I don't care if you're on fire. I'm done.
I see what you're
Right?
saying.
So if that's something that you really, regardless if it's your father or not.
But
he
what are
makes
you shutting off?
Just contact.
No, what I'm saying is that what I learned from my father is the opposite. In other words, if you're a kind person and someone's being mean to you, instead of saying like, "Hey, you're an asshole," you can still say like, "Hey, I don't like what you did to me," in a kind way, and then just cut them off from your life.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
You can do that
Well,
easily.
when-
It's the same thing.
listen, when
Yeah.
But it's a
talking
little
to you-
different.
Yeah.
You're just making sure like, hey, just want to let you know before I go, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And you're lucky I didn't kick the shit out
Because
of you.
number one, if anybody's doing that to you in the first place, they're wrong. Especially if you did nothing wrong.
Right.
So they're being an asshole already. So you're gonna watch your
Right.
P's and Q's.
There are people.
Oh, I don't want to be an asshole too. Yeah, I want to be an asshole. I like being an
Or just
asshole.
be blunt.
There are
Listen,
people
I don't
that
like-
are literally-
I don't like
literally
the way you're
walk-
talking to me.
Right.
That
Who?
doesn't work for me.
Who talking to you?
No,
Anybody. I'm saying if somebody's talking to me like that, I said I don't like the
I
way
thought
you're
you were
talking
saying
to
that
me.
to Frankie.
No,
You
Frankie.
didn't like the way he talks to you.
No, I bother him all day long. He hasn't told me to go fuck myself yet.
No. No, because he loves you.
He does, and I love him. And I call him when I'm killy.
Killy. It's Killy a lot.
Killy a lot lately.
Yeah, so I mean, people are walking around the same way that we're talking about, like the people who physically abuse their spouses or whatever.
Well, I feel
there are
bad
people
for
that
them.
are just nasty
I
people.
feel bad for people that are trapped. I'm sorry. I can't imagine a man getting clocked.
Might be a big girl. Girls, some kind of big girls,
Yeah,
But
sometimes
if
they can
anything,
tune somebody up.
you're the one who can get the fuck out of here.
That's
like, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
There's a door. There's a car.
A little
Run.
small piece of me
Run
makes
to
you
the
feel
police
like you-
station.
makes
Do
me feel like
something.
you wanted it for a little
I
while.
think so.
For the first couple of years of your life,
Yeah.
you liked
Yeah,
it.
you like
Something's
the little
wrong
beat.
there.
You want to get hurt a little bit.
Come
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
Something's wrong there, man. You're sitting there doing that stuff. I don't know. But
And
but we don't know the story. We don't know how people,
Yeah, that's true.
'cause
There are
there's-
some abusive women.
Yeah, and there's a lot of mentally fucked up people out there.
I was going to say that's true too. You don't know when someone's dealing with
Yeah.
mental stress, which really comes to another point, which is basically okay. I said there are people walking around that are just basic assholes, like and
definitely.
just
Oh,
they're
they
mean
are.
to
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
they're rude, but at the end of the day, is there a justification if you're mentally unstable?
No.
Like because you had a bad life
No,
or
you
something
can't.
happened, you're gonna walk around and fuck with other
No.
people?
That's not an excuse. You're still going to go fuck yourself.
Right, and
Yeah.
but there are people in the industry that may turn around and say you got to give these people a buy.
Yeah, I know.
You got to understand. You got to do this. I understand the concept like trying to get them help.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
Definitely. A lot of
but I
people
don't
need
have
help.
to fucking deal with it.
No.
No.
You're-
They make it a little choky.
That's right. Yeah. Everybody's going to make excuse for something and be
Right.
passionate about something and turn the other cheek.
I mean,
until
Frankie's-
it happens to them.
Frankie's kind in his old age. Wait, let me rephrase that. Frankie's kinder than he usually is in his old age. But like any of this type of attitude or disrespect or like just like, oh, you're having a bad day and so you want to be rude to people, walked into a bar that he was sitting in, with his friends and they fucking looked at him the wrong way. It was
Yeah.
going to be a problem. In other words, there's a time now you might say, hey, you're a fucking asshole, and that's verbally. But there was a time that they would get something different.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Times change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
times change.
You're not hitting
see,
people.
but
Pump your brakes with
I
your age.
don't bother
No,
nobody.
he's doing better.
I don't bother anybody. So my fuse is gets shorter. I believe if I don't bother nobody, I'm supposed to be bothered.
Right.
But it's a perfect example of someone
about
who is still not soft, though.
Well,
You have changed
yes.
to, in my opinion,
Yes.
become a better person
No.
and less violent.
No.
You said no.
No. My hands hurt. I can't fight as good. That's why we hide guns around the place.
Okay.
I tell the truth. Yeah, I can't fight like I used to. I sure the hell ain't gonna get beat up.
Yeah,
So there's gonna be a problem, you know.
that's true.
He's
So-
in there still.
Yeah, I just calm because I don't let anything bother me. You know what I mean? Because I know it's stupid, or some few words go by. But I mean, if it's a serious thing, and if you're bigger than me, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in trouble. One of us is going to go to jail, and one of us is going to cemetery, because that's what's going to happen. I always said that big guys are in trouble all the time because little guys look at them and go, "Oh fuck,
I have no choice but to do something
I
extra.
got to do something bad over here. Otherwise, I'm going to get hurt."
I cannot tell you
Yeah.
how many times I am the buffer of saving somebody's life between Frankie and some business owner or something like that. I'm like, listen, do me a favor, just run everything by me. I'll take Frankie because you're saying shit that's gonna fucking
Right.
flip this motherfucker off.
Yeah, I
You
know.
do not want to say that. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. When it comes to what we've been trying to do with Mob Candy and I'm trying to say.
I only heard Frank, from me, I only heard him angry once. Twice. One time, this is kind of funny. When he puts his face on the phone, it records.
Oh, that happened to me before. And does it go beep? You
Yeah.
have been
So,
recording. I'm
but
like,
he-
what's this fucking guy trying to do?
No,
Get me to
wait,
court?
but the
I
thing
do it all
is,
the
he
time.
didn't know he did it.
I didn't know it do
And
it.
he went,
He
"You
never knows."
fucking recorded me?" And I swear the sweat came.
Oh, he thought you pressed it
I
because
thought
it
he was.
says.
I don't know.
It
I don't know how
says
that
this
works.
phone call is being
Yes.
recorded.
Yeah.
So, and I said, and literally, I froze.
So what are
He
you
went,
recording
"You
the phone
fucking
for?"
recorded me?" I said, "How am I going to prove I'm not?" Because it says
It said it.
Yeah.
Because it said it. And
Then I
go,
look at the
"Frankie."
phone and I see a little thing and I push it.
And I'm like, Frankie, I panicked. I went, Frankie, it's not me. It really isn't. He goes, "You fucking recorded me." And then finally he saw. I said, there has to be a line in your. I was panicked because how are you gonna prove that you're not when it said it and he heard it?
Yeah.
So now every time it says it, I go, "Frankie, that's you."
I do it all the time.
So the moral of the story, and we're going to wrap up the show because the time's up, is that don't
Everybody's
fuck with
fucked up.
Frank. Don't fuck with Frankie.
Don't fuck with Frankie.
No matter how
Hey.
fucked up you think you are,
And I
no
got no
matter how
problem.
mentally challenged you feel you are, or emotionally unstable, or you woke up on the wrong side of the bed,
Yeah.
or you have a reason to be upset, do not fuck with Frankie.
Right. Leave me alone. I don't bother anyone. Leave me alone. Don't be, especially these keyboard tough guys and gangsters. They're the
Oh my
worst,
God.
man. They're the
Forget
worst.
about it. We'll touch base on
Yeah,
that in the
man.
next show.
I
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, I kiss my wife, I have breakfast, I say hello to my mother, and I go take sun. I don't bother nobody, I don't care what nobody does.
Yeah.
I don't really bother people got to bother me for.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll wrap it up. This is Mob Candy Magazine show in season 2, and we're gonna go to some of our sponsors.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple commercials with the sponsors for the sponsors because we are sponsored by
By,
a few people.
Yes, we
All
have
right.
Aldo's Coffee in Greenport, New York. That's out on the island. And we have Twisted Cow in Northport. They want to host a Mob Candy party.
Right.
He has his own distillery. It has the best. It's like, what did I say? What am I saying? Liquor around.
Yeah.
I bought some for us to taste, and everyone
Oh,
should go
beautiful.
there.
Oh, so we're gonna taste them. So
Yeah.
we'll taste it.
That's why I saved the bottle of Lupe.
Oh
there
my
you
God!
go.
You're gonna look like you're drinking water.
Yeah.
All right, and I have a sponsor who's considering themselves. Literally said to me that take this money to spend on advertising for your social media and stuff like that. But I don't want to know nothing. I don't want anyone to say anything about what my name is. So we're gonna just consider them the secret gangster.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so we are our advertising budget online is sponsored by the secret gangster.
Secret.
Nice.
I don't know who the secret gangster is, but they don't want to be known, and
Okay.
so maybe one day, but
All right.
not now.
Alrighty.
That's nice.
We'll see you on the next show.